Right, let's talk about the abdication that shocked the world, shall we? Queen Margrethe's sudden decision to step down after 52 years on the throne was sold to us as a graceful retirement, but what if there's a far more scandalous reason behind it? Hit that subscribe button and notifications bell right now, because we're about to uncover the truth behind one of the most suspicious royal exits in modern history. When Margrethe announced her abdication on New Year's Eve 2023, just weeks after those explosive Madrid photos surfaced, the timing raised more than a few eyebrows. She claimed it was time to pass the torch to the next generation, that she wanted to step back after her back surgery earlier that year. Lovely sentiment, except nobody was buying it. You don't reign for over 5 decades and then suddenly decide to quit right when your son is embroiled in the biggest scandal of his life. That's not coincidence, that's damage control. Let's examine the timeline because it's absolutely damning. The photos of Frederik and Genoveva Casanova in Madrid emerged in November 2023. The images went viral, sparking international speculation about an affair. 6 weeks later, Margrethe announces she's abdicating. 6 weeks! For context, she'd spent 52 years on that throne through countless challenges, family dramas, and national crises, never once suggesting she might step down. But a few scandalous photos of her son, and suddenly she's ready to retire? Pull the other one, it's got bells on it. Royal experts immediately began speculating about the real motivation behind the abdication. Some suggested Margrethe was furious with Frederik and wanted to force him to face the consequences of his actions as king rather than as crown prince. Others believed she was trying to create distance between herself and the scandal, preserving her own pristine reputation by removing herself from the equation. Both theories make far more sense than the official story. Think about what Margrethe's abdication actually accomplished. It thrust Frederik into the spotlight at the absolute worst possible moment. He became king while still dealing with the fallout from Madrid, meaning every single article about the new monarch also mentioned the scandal. There was no fresh start, no clean slate, just immediate association with controversy. If that was Margrethe's intention, it was brilliantly brutal. Force him to face the music rather than hiding behind her mother's skirts. But here's the alternative theory that's equally compelling. Margrethe saw the writing on the wall. She knew this scandal was going to dominate headlines for months, possibly years. She'd spent over 50 decades building a reputation as one of Europe's most respected monarchs. Why should she let her son's poor decisions tarnish her legacy? By abdicating, she removed herself from the narrative. She became the beloved queen who gracefully stepped aside, rather than the mother trying to defend her son's indefensible behavior. The Danish press, usually restrained when covering royals, has hinted at tensions within the family following the Madrid incident. Reports suggest Margrethe was absolutely livid with Frederik, that private conversations at the palace were heated and uncomfortable. Imagine being Margrethe, watching your son throw away decades of careful reputation management for a night out in Madrid. The fury must have been astronomical. Some insiders claim Margrethe gave Frederik an ultimatum: sort out your marriage and your mess or face the consequences. When Frederik failed to adequately address the situation, she abdicated, essentially saying, "This is your problem now, deal with it as king." That's cold-blooded monarchy management right there. What makes this theory even more believable is Margrethe's character. She's not someone who makes impulsive decisions. Every move she made during her reign was calculated and purposeful. The idea that she spontaneously decided to abdicate after back surgery doesn't align with 52 years of careful, deliberate leadership. But the idea that she strategically removed herself from a scandal that threatened the monarchy's reputation, that's absolutely in character. The timing also suggests she wanted to avoid being dragged into the inevitable media circus. Had she remained queen, every article about Frederik's scandal would have included questions about what Margrethe thought, whether she approved, how she was handling it. By abdicating, she made herself irrelevant to the story. Clever, really. Now, let's consider the impact of her abdication on